ten duin agus
belongs to the Cork fans this afternoon as Cork play fourth successive final. Shea Fahy, outstanding so far, into Dave Barry. Mick Slocum here. Teddy coming a little bit too near to him. Paul McGrath offers a bit of variation. The option was well chosen. Sam Maguire goes proudly back to Lee side. It's Sam and it's Liam in the 1 year for Cork.
And it's Henry Downey who leads Derry, Mick McCarthy leading Cork. One of the great occasions in Irish sport.
The All-Ireland final, the highlight of the championship year in football, tonight on the Sunday game. Hello and you're very welcome to our football special. Coming up in the next 2 hours, action from this afternoon's big match, analysis of the game, a visit to the winners and losers hotels, and our man of the match selection from this year's All-Ireland final. A mention of analysis, Colin O'Rourke joins us in studio. His views on the big game coming up a little bit later on in the programme. And Colin will also be answering some of your telephone queries. And that's the cue to give you our telephone number. 01643 666 is the Sunday game hotline. Those phone lines are open now, so give us a call if there's any point that you would like raised on the programme. Well, that's all for later on, but right now to Croke Park for the All-Ireland football final of 1993, Cork versus Derry. The commentator is Ger Canning, assisted by Colin O'Rourke.
So now a chance to check on the respective teams this afternoon. The Cork lineup was widely predicted. Once doubts about Niall Cahalán's fitness had eased, the lion-hearted Castlehaven man takes his usual corner-back spot in a side that shows one change from the semi-final formation. Teddy McCarthy returns to midfield to partner Shea Fahy, the luckless one being American-born Danny Cullity, the danger man in attack, no doubt about it, John O'Driscoll and Colin Corkery, number 13. So 35 years after the last appearance by a Derry team in an All-Ireland final, this is the team representing the Oakleaf County, brilliantly skippered by Henry Downey. It shows one alteration in personnel from the side that began against Dublin. Danny Quinn is omitted. Tony Scullion gets another sample of life at full back. The newcomer is Fergal McCusker, known as Fergal P. McCusker, though whether he plays cornerback or wing back is a source of much speculation. So we wish the teams well. The 104th All-Ireland final is underway. Shea Fahy touching it down to Teddy McCarthy. We'll be anxious to see just whether their fitness will sustain a full 70 minutes as Kieran O'Sullivan is fouled in possession. Anthony Tohill, big tall player. Stephen O'Brien slipping as he kicks that ball in towards Corkery. He rolls up magnificently for it. There against Gary Coleman, remember, that's the marking alignment. Needing support, getting it from Joe Kavanagh. Ground looking a little slippery early on. The movement here on the ball produces Mick McCarthy in the attack. Chased over there the whole time by Dermot Heaney. Cork settling better. Tony Davis with the first attempt for a score, and he's put it over the bar. Tony Davis playing in his 25th championship match. Getting up to give Cork the lead. They look more like the Confederate team rather than the rebel side. Shea Fahy and Teddy McCarthy beaten by McGilligan, who fisted that one on. Kieran O'Sullivan towards Teddy McCarthy. Poor marking by Derry. Don Davis getting well away from Fergal McCusker. Being allowed the opportunity to set up the attacks. The initiative has been seized early on by Cork, and it's Joe Kavanagh into the breach. There's a goal on here for Cork, and he gets it! A goal by Joe Kavanagh after 5 minutes. Derry were standing back. Cork with great purpose. That's a good goal by Kavanagh. Joe Kavanagh's third goal of the championship, beating the cover. And Cork emphatically ahead. The Derry attack broken up, and it's Kieran O'Sullivan soloing downfield once again. Derry are taking a long time to settle in this match. Barry Coffey was going into the breach there. Taken down. In fact, it's Joe Kavanagh. Right on the 20-metre line. There's a problem away at the canal end. The fans would seem to have broken a gate over there, and they're trying to stream in. The stewards across there trying to contain the situation, just as Colin Crawford tops it over the bar. So Cork ahead by 5 points, and still the fans come in on the far side. The weight of supporters coming in there. This could be a very dangerous situation with fans all pressing against one another, and the stewards having to take the wise course of action of allowing people in rather than risking a serious incident. Brian McGilligan coming forward. Barry Coffey trying to hold up his progress. Dermot Heaney. Damien Barton now looking for a Derry score to settle down his team. It's Johnny McGurk. He can do it against Dublin now. He's done it against Cork. The player from Lavi raising Derry's spirits.
Derry really needed somebody to take responsibility there. Damien Barton could have gone for a score, and John McGurk, just as he did in the semi-final against Dublin, not afraid to shoot. Most of the Derry players involved with that movement seemed a little bit hesitant.
Scullion down towards Joe Brawley. They expect a big return from Brawley. Brian Corcoran is his marker. Hasn't played a great deal of football this year. Heaney. Ball cut out there by Mark O'Connor. Settling down well, pushed, gets the free. Again, a bit of frustration there for Enda Gormley, but there's a long way to go. Only 10 minutes gone in this 1993 All-Ireland football final. A fair amount of bunching just in front of John Kearns. Barry Coffey is his target. Ball picked up there by Anthony Tohill. Down towards Joe Brawley. Brawley's on his way, trying to get inside Brian Corcoran. Getting the support there from Damien Cassidy. Ball blocked down. Attack still alive. Enda Gormley in the greasy surface, having difficulty taking it up. Niall Cahalane is back there. Tigerishly making his way out. Linking up with Teddy McCarthy, who drops it to Brian McGilligan. And that's gone over the bar. A mistake by Teddy McCarthy. And Brian McGilligan was in like a flash to put it over the bar and cut the deficit to just 3 points.
Niall Cahalane, who has done very well for Cork, but it's noticeable Teddy McCarthy lets the ball out of his hands. One of the players not wearing gloves today, and Brian McGilligan kicks a great point. So Derry's settling down quite nicely now. But a lot of the players seem to be using gloves. I think the ball will be wet. Teddy McCarthy has sent for gloves since he let that one slip.
Oh, that ball given away by Teddy to Anthony Tohill. Tohill on his way inside. Stopped momentarily by Stephen O'Brien, pulled down. That's going to be a free in. Well, 2 mistakes. They may be untypical, but they've given Derry the opportunity to claw even nearer.
Terrible mistake by Teddy McCarthy, and when Tohill is coming on the run like that, he's very difficult to stop.
So Gormley, who is the leading scorer, taking his time. An important kick, this. Now there are just 2 points between the teams. About 12 and a half minutes gone in the first half. John Kearns normally very accurate with his kickouts, trying to place colleagues. This time it's Shea Fahy, but Tohill has read the intentions. He's held by Shea Fahy. Derry get the free kick, taken quickly. Cahalane here fumbling. That's beautifully taken up by Dermot Heaney. Heaney for Derry with a goal chance. Outside it goes. Cassidy blocked down by John Kearns. Magnificent save. A 45 for Derry. The Cork defence looking wide open. Derry settling much better, and the Cork custodian really coming to his side's rescue.
And a beautiful chip up with his hands on the run by Dermot Heaney. Thought he should have shot himself. Damien Cassidy forced wide. That's a brilliant save by John Kearns.
So Anthony Tohill coming out to hit this one. He's had a great last 12 months really, becoming more assertive as a midfielder. Also a very useful place kicker, as he illustrates there. Derry's recovery is still on course, wind assisted, and now there's just one between them.
Cork are trying to leave a big space so John Kearns can kick the ball out to Barry Coffey.
Well, Barry Coffey has been marked tightly, and McGilligan has it. Inside towards Enda Gormley, breaks the ball down there. Damien Cassidy going back to recover possession, trying to go by Niall Cahalane, avoiding the block, hit in invitingly. Mark O'Connor was assured it's a goal, and the referee says it's a valid goal. Seamus Downey, the goal scorer, was outside the square, made his run in, but if you see it again in replay, you'll note that the fullback Mark O'Connor wasn't absolutely certain about whether to attack the ball or not.
Damien Cassidy does very well and puts it across, but there's complete hesitation. John Kearns in position, nobody seems to shout, and Seamus Downey does very well for full power, gets in and gets his fist to it, and that's a brilliant goal to give Derry a great boost.
So Derry have gone in front. This the attack again, a bit of hesitation. Downey wasn't hesitating, and he gets a fine goal. Here's Don Davis. Niall Cahalane into the breach, the shoulder of Brian McGilligan, and the referee says it's not a fair side to side. It was an elbow, in fact, and Tommy Howard wasn't too far away. Two players who played against one another in the compromise rules series, McGilligan there and Teddy McCarthy. Henry Downey, Dermot Heaney. Joe Brolly is the target, and the referee says that's a foul by Brian Corcoran. Jersey tugging. Brolly the taker. In towards the goal scorer, Seamus Downey. Brother of the team captain, now Johnny McGurk. Tohill steadying himself, beating the attempted block by Teddy McCarthy, and he's put the ball high and he's put it over. That's a wonderful point. A second point by Anthony Tohill. Well, the point was made before this match that Derry have the most formidable midfield, and they're proving it, having taken but 7 minutes to settle down.
Yes, a great point from Tohill there on the run, but Joe Brolly was the man that made it. He's winning possession off Brian Corcoran most of the time.
Brian McGilligan isn't too pleased with the linesman. Perhaps Casserly from Westmeath. Barry Coffey has the line ball taken into Shea Fahy, going for the score himself. At the outside of the boot, he screws it over the bar. You remember those points he scored against Meath in 1990. Now there are two between them. Kick-out's been taken quickly. McCarthy ran into a tackle there from Brian McGilligan, and the leg held in the end by John McGurk. Cork will get the free kick. That's the 45-metre line that John is on. Into the wind. It's a big kick, and he's put it over the bar. A second point by Colin Corkery. So the gap has closed to just a point once again. Coleman advancing the ball out towards the full forward, Seamus Downey. Again, nice ball forward. Joe Brolly pressing the attack forward. But somehow at the back, it's Mark O'Connor there with possession. Now it's Brian Corcoran. Teddy McCarthy outside towards Joe Kavanagh, trying to stand his ground against Brian McGilligan. McGilligan for Derry. Such a strong man. Good ball inside. Kearns is out for it. They all missed it, however. A close cut thing there. Dermot Heaney not too far away from getting a vital final touch.
Great ball across by McGilligan. If somebody had been coming in from the far side, it would have been a great one, but Dermot Heaney just a little bit short, and John Kearns does enough to put him off.
Dermot Heaney being marked by Tony Davis, who's got a very good record in All-Ireland finals, having played in 3, and his man has yet to score in any of those 3 games. Here he is, the man this afternoon, Dermot Heaney, fouled by Tony Davis, cursing his luck. And that's gone over the bar. A fine point by Enda Gormley, kicking his second point of the day. 2 between them. Kick out picked up by Tohill, then lost to Shea Fahy. Henry Downey powerless to prevent Fahy going forward, committing the foul indeed. And Barry Coffey coming up to hit it quickly. In towards Colin Corkery, would seem to have moved in towards full forward just momentarily there. Fergal McCusker now. Ball in over the head of Mark O'Connor. Seamus Downey racing for possession. He's got players to aim at. One of them is Joe Brolly. Brolly going by Brian Corcoran. That's been a successful ploy so far. Joe Brolly kicking it over the bar. The first of the day for Brolly. Man of the match in the semi-final with a stirring performance, and he opens up a gap of 3 points. Not exactly a wide gap by any manner of means, but significant nonetheless.
Seamus Downey is doing very, very well at full forward for Derry. He's getting every ball that's kicked into that area. And Joe Brolly does very well, even though under pressure from Brian Corcoran. It was hard to see him getting a score from there. He was able to swing it over with his left foot.
Cork experiencing problems in their full back line just at the moment, but it's in the attack that they're moving, and Shea Fahy was fouled after he hit that ball away. It's going to be a free from the 13-metre line. The view on the Derry bench, Dermot McNichol there in the foreground. One of the real live options for Derry in attack. They're doing well in attack. So Kavanagh to put 2 points between the teams, and he does so. To go with the goal that he scored after 5 minutes. Shea Fahy there with Brian McGilligan. McGilligan breaking the ball down. A lot of the ball being broken down. Derry particularly alert at half back and half forward, reading the intentions, getting a lot of possession. Now Mark O'Connor. Good ball chipped into the centre. Don Davis getting onto it. It was a high challenge from Gary Coleman, but it reaches Colin Corkery. Corkery, Heaney is against him there, and that's kicked over the bar. Colin Corkery with another score, a 3rd point for Colin Corkery. There was a collision off camera between John McGurk and Tony Davis, quite accidental. The referee said it was all part of the game, and this is the score that came from Colin Corkery's kick.
Gary Coleman decided to go for that ball and didn't make it, and Corkery shows how mobile he is as well as everything else, taking the ball across, and of course can score with both feet as well. A great point for Cork.
So Derry now with 6.5 minutes to go to half-time. They'll have the breeze against them for the second 35 minutes. They'll be hoping to notch on another score or two. Damien Cassidy. Damien Barton was his target, being well marshalled by Stephen O'Brien. Appeals from both sides. The referee says it's a Derry ball. Probably going for the score. Dropped in well in there. Into Gormley on a tight angle. Played way back. Dermot Heaney in there contesting. Ball played outside eventually to Damien Cassidy, and the referee's whistle has sounded. It's going to be a free to Cork.
Yeah, Damien Cassidy, good chance there, but picked the ball straight off the ground.
Back in the Derry defence, Fergal McCusker and Gary Coleman have switched roles once again, and it's Fergal McCusker who is now marking Colin Corkery. Ball with John McGurk. Anthony Tohill. The shoulder there by Barry Coffey, upsetting his stride momentarily. Damien Barton now. Punted left-footed inside towards Seamus Downey. Will scramble for possession. Downey, the Derry player, going in, touching on the ground. It's going to be a free out to Cork. And the decision not exactly meeting with the approval of the Derry fans up there on Hill 16. Brian Corcoran is the Cork player, on this occasion in need of attention. Hurler of the year last year. This is just his third championship game in football, having played 5 games in hurling. If you think of all the teams that he plays for, as he's still in under 21, they come to probably 12 or more. Kearns with the free. Again, Barry Coffey was the target. This time Barry Coffey adjudged to have fouled John McGirt, who takes the free kick himself. The Derry player on the ground. The jeering from the Derry fans. Referee, having not seen the incident, allows play to continue. Damien Barton. This is Joe Brolly looking for a score for Derry. It's gone to the right. Joe cursing his luck. And the referee going down now to have a word with his linesman about the Derry player who was felled just as that attack was in full flight. Enda Gormley has been marked by Niall Cahalane this afternoon. So is Niall the guilty one? Worth taking a look at again, it seems. Right hand side of the camera. Here's Niall Cahalane, and there's a box into the face.
If the umpire sees that now and tells the referee, he'll have no option but to put Cahalane off. It's a clear punch in the face.
Well, Niall Cahalane pleading his case, but it looked bad. And if the umpire, as you say, saw that, the rule is quite specific. Tommy Howard is content with the lecture, and Niall Cahalane is a very lucky man. Enda Gormley feeling quite aggrieved. He has every reason to be. And to Tommy Howard, well, perhaps his umpires didn't see what happened quite clearly, in which case there shouldn't have been any booking in the first place. Here's Niall Cahalane. He's got a lead off, and now he's been injured. And this time he pleads his case, and the game just turning a little bit nasty and angry. Niall Cahalane is still on the ground. It's Fergal McCusker launching the attack for Derry, who lead by 1-7 to 1-6. Gormley, the player who was injured with that box earlier on, drives it in high and he puts it over the bar. A third point for Enda Gormley, a first from play. And he makes his point there to Niall Cahalane as he comes out. Might be worth keeping an eye on those two for the rest of the match.
Well, it's the only way to answer any sort of aggression is to put a score on the board, and Enda Gormley has been having a lot of trouble. He wasn't able to get the ball off Niall Cahalane early on in the game, and never ceased to be amazed at his ability to kick points from the left-hand side like that. Very difficult for a left-footed kicker, and it's a brilliant point.
Just a minute to go to half-time now. 2 between them. Derry's Dermot Heaney, the taker of the free. Down towards Mark O'Connor, broke away from him. And the Derry player with Cahalane and Tony Davis effectively fouling the attacker. And really Tommy Howard is going to have to take a firm grip on this match. The notebook is out again.
Well, Dermot Heaney goes down here bravely on it. Tony Davis comes in, attempts to give a shoulder. That's not a bad tackle compared to some of the ones that's gone on, and I think the referee is booking him more because of the fuss created by the Derry players than anything else.
It looked an ill-timed tackle, but not malicious by any manner of means.
No, certainly I don't think that was...
Oh, he's been sent off. Oh, that's got to be one of the major talking points of this final. Tony Davis really is one of the most sporting players on this Cork team. Worth looking at again here. Now, Dermot Heaney and Davis going in there. Well, the elbow was in use. It was ill-timed, it was a bit clumsy, but I don't think it was a sending-off offence.
No, I think the referee has gone over the top there, completely putting Tony Davis off for that, because some of the challenges that went before are much, much worse.
Well, if it's a case of sending the next player off who commits an offence, Tony can regard himself as being very, very unlucky. We're not condoning dirty play, but that was not dirty play. One or two things that went on earlier were. Tohill dropped in towards Enda Gormley, beats the forwards however for pace. The game is now ticked into injury time. So Derry with the full complement against the 14 men from Cork now. And this, of course, the second time in an All-Ireland football final in recent years that Cork have been reduced to 14 men. Happened also in 1990. Two between them. Stephen O'Brien coming up to kick this one. Towards Colin Corkery, fisted away by Fergal McCosker. There was a jersey pull, the jersey of Johnny McGurk there by Don Davis. Enda Gormley winning that challenge there with Niall Cahalane. Gormley getting free, getting support as well. The kick here is high, comes off the post there from Gary Coleman, back into play, and it ends up going over the bar. Enda Gormley, the point scorer. That's 4 points for Enda Gormley from this match. Derry are finishing the half very convincingly. 3 points to the good. With the wind at their backs, will that be sufficient?
Well, a great chance of a point. A great move by Derry. Comes back off the top of the post. And the players coming in have the advantage here. Enda Gormley doing very well. Since he got that punch from Niall Cahalane, he's improved considerably.
It's half-time. Enda Gormley scored 4 points in that first half. Cork took a commanding lead in the opening 7 minutes with a Joe Kavanagh goal after 5. Seamus Downey's goal after 15. Gormley, one of the Derry heroes from the first half, but the controversial sending off of Tony Davis after 35 minutes, one of the big talking points. And so, at half-time, it's Derry who lead by 3 points. Derry 1-9, Cork 1-6. We'll be back after this.
Friday feeling. You just can't keep it in.
You remember I said last time that Surf gets your clothes really clean and still costs less than other leading brands? Well, now there's a way you can save even more. Surf Automatic in the new Eco Bag uses less packaging and it costs you less. But what about the guarantee? Will Lever Brothers still give you your money back if you're not happy? Of course they will. So when you're looking for a powder that gives you great results and cuts the cost of your washing, trust Surf in a bag.
Bobby Ryan, Tipperary hurler and farmer, recommends Zerofen, the new all-round wormer for cattle. Zerofen kills all major roundworms and lungworms fast. From Chanel.
The whistle, the throw-in, the roar of the crowd, and the games are on. The skill of hurling, the best of football. Catch the excitement of the Church and General National Leagues. They're on the way.
New Unifiller from Unibond. Its added adhesive means when it goes in, it stays in. New Unifiller. It won't let you down.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Hey John, what's red, blue, fab and from Merseyside?
Liverpool and Everton, not.
Jet unleaded costs less than any other petrol, so it saves you money and also helps to protect the environment. Motoring with Jet saves all round. And that's good news for everyone. At Jet, we care, and it shows.
The McDonald's Quarter Pounder with Cheese Deluxe is built with 100% pure Irish beef and is now available at every McDonald's in Ireland. There's nothing quite like a McDonald's.
Norwegian cider.
Cork get the free. Shea Fahy the taker. Remember, there are 3 points between the teams. Mick McCarthy trying to go forward, trying to get something for Cork here. Shot partially blocked down, and it's gone out for the first 45 of the second half. Colin, it's been the case in many finals in recent years. As we watch this once again, we'll just see whether or not in fact there was a block. I don't think there was.
No, that should have been wide.
The question I was going to ask you is how 15 cope with 14. It's been a problem in the past.
Yeah, but there's a big difference. If you're 14 men and in front, you can afford to lie back. But if you're 14 men and behind, that's a different ball game altogether.
That's Colin Corkery hitting the first wide of the second half. The fourth in all. Derry had 4 wides themselves during the first 35 minutes.
What it amounts to now for Cork is that they must come and attack, which will leave plenty of room for Derry to use their extra man going forward. If Cork were in front, Derry would have to come at them, and it would mean that Cork could drop back and leave maybe Colin Corkery up front.
Colin Corkery is up front with Mick McCarthy, just 2 in the full forward line as Danny Cullity tries to set something up for Corkery. John O'Driscoll, who really was quite anonymous in the first half, number 14 in your picture there, he's now left half forward. Tony Scullion has come out from full back to mark him.
And what Derry should do is put Scullion and Corkery inside and bring Fergal McCusker out on John O'Driscoll.
That's exactly what they've done. Just as we talk, and the ball has gone in and gone over the bar from Colin Corkery. So a 4th point for Colin Corkery. And the margin a mere 2 points. Again, the tension very evident across there on the Derry bench. John McGurk. Fergal McCusker just moving to his left, and he kicked it off McCusker's back. But he has possession again. Now McCusker. Change of direction, but John O'Driscoll adjudged to have pushed. The rain coming down once more, making it very unpleasant. Jersey of Damien Barton was trapped. Now Dermot McNichol, a buzz of anticipation as he attacks the Cork goal. Henry Downey, shouldered out by Barry Coffey. Downey's a top operator. This is Dermot McNichol looking for another point for Derry, and the umpires signal that there's 3 points between them. McNichol's first point of the second half.
Well, I suppose you call that an inspired substitution. Dermot McNichol, who wouldn't be noted for being a very good scorer of points, kicks a great point here from an acute angle. Derry need to attack much more quickly, though, than they did on that occasion.
Unpleasant times up on Hill 16, but they won't worry too much, I suppose, about the rain if their team can stay ahead. Remember, John McGurk is the lone operator, the free man in the Derry team. Shea Fahy. Ball down towards Joe Kavanagh. Kavanagh going through, looking for another score. And this time the referee signalled that it's going to be a free in. The Cork forwards imploring him to award a penalty. Henry Downey quizzing the decision, but the referee, I think, deciding that the push happened outside the large rectangle. So a free to Cork. Colin Corkery will be the taker. A 15-metre free or thereabouts, straight in front of the post, and an opportunity to put just 2 between the teams, and it's all to play for. 5 points for Colin Corkery, 3 of them from frees. This is the attack once again, Colin.
Well, Joe Kavanagh bursting through there takes far too many steps, and the referee really should have given a free out. He wasn't held until he had taken more than the minimum number of steps, or the maximum number of steps, but the referee will always favour a team that are down to 14 men.
Well, he took about 8 steps in all that time. The contest at midfield won by Cork. Don Davis. Gary Coleman just moving away from him. Little chip inside. John O'Driscoll coming in. He scored! John O'Driscoll puts Cork back in front. first time to get into the attack in a meaningful way. His first score of the match, his first goal.
Well, a great ball across from Don Davis. Picks out John O'Driscoll coming through. Nobody marking him, and he sticks it away. It's about the first time he's got a chance of the whole game. That's a brilliant goal for Cork.
Well, he'd been having a great season. Lovely, clever ball inside. The defence indicted, however. They were moving out en masse. That's a splendid strike. McCusker taking it back from McKeever once again. Now Coleman. Now Johnny McGurk. William and Coleman insist that he push forward into the Cork attack more and more. Barry Copley gleefully taking it away. An attempt at dispossessing him working out. McCusker picking up with Dermot McNichol. Here's Tohill. A shoulder in there, and the referee indicting Anthony Tohill as Joe Kavanagh stood his ground. The foul by Anthony Tohill. Kieran O'Sullivan belting it forward towards Colin Corkery. A two-man full forward line, Mick McCarthy being the other predator down there. Derry get the ball back. It's Tony Scullion. The referee has whistled up. It's going to be a Derry free kick. So now the goalkeeper can have it. This is Henry Downey again. It's a measured build-up by Derry, playing into the wind. They're trying to control the pace of the attack if at all possible. This is Joe Brolly. Good ball for Brolly. Takes off such good angles, an injection of pace into the attack. Here's Brolly, fisting, and he's put it against the post, and it's back in there, and it's gone wide. Seamus Downey had the last touch on that one, but unable to get a second goal for Derry. Real disappointment for this player from Labby.
Joe Brolly causing all sorts of problems for Brian Cork, and coming in here, tries to do the right thing, punts it over the bar. It comes back off the post. Seamus Downey really should have put that one in the net. A big let off for Cork.
And just in case you've come in late to join the Ireland football final, Cork had lost Tony Davis, who was sent off in the last minute of the first half. So it's 14 against 15. Derry being led at the moment by a point, and Henry Downey coming forward, trying to set up a score. Heaney, and he's put it over. Or has he? No, it's a 45. It's a 45. It was very close. You thought for a moment there was a goal there, then perhaps a point, but he has to be content with a free kick.
Henry Downey should have probably put that one over the bar to level the sides. He made great. He came up about 60 metres up the field to join in that attack, and there's a lot of Cork players in on Dermot Heaney to put it out for the 45. Derry should just flick those ones over the bar and at least get back level.
So little between the teams, just a point. Anthony Tohill has the 45. Eamon Coleman continuing to run all around the park, trying to fire up his team. They can go level here. It's a huge kick. Mark O'Connor under it. He's really settled down well, playing a very good second half. Kieran O'Sullivan stopped by Dermot McNichol. Jersey was being pulled. Referee says that's a free kick. We've yet to see the best of McNichol in this match, where he replaced Damien Cassidy at half-time.
The same could be true, Ger, for Anthony Tohill in the middle of the field for Derry. He hasn't been in this game at all, and they really need himself and Brian McGilligan to get the grips with it there, because Danny Cullity has done well since he came on. And Cork are fighting hard, they're funneling back well in defence. Everybody is doing a lot of hard grafting for the team.
Huge kick by John Kearns. It reaches Don Davis. Far outside of Mick McCarthy, trying to turn inside. Gary Coleman supported here by Colin Corkery. A look at the posts. Huge one in, fisted, and outside. Danny Cullity, I think, is the one who had made the run forward there. And Cullity having come through from midfield. Cork are working harder for one another in the second half. I don't know what Billy Morgan had to say to them at half-time, but they're certainly playing with great fire and passion They're showing a lot of commitment, and they're trying to make up for the missing player. But Derry there with every chance of taking their first All-Ireland. And McGilligan, the player, on the ground. Barney was telling me that he thoroughly enjoyed the hurling final here 2 weeks ago. He's a great hurling player as well. So it's going to be a throw ball between the two number 8s, one by Shea Fahy, but he gives it away to Derry's Brian McGilligan. Up towards Enda Gormley. Gormley over there is held by Niall Cahalane. Enda a little unhappy because he knows that Seamus Downey had an advantage. Derry have the free kick. Into the clear again. Such good positioning taken up by Joe Brawley. Trying to turn on the style again in the second half, just as he did against Dublin. Back to Johnny McGurk, the extra player. Brian Cork is out there to provide a buffer. It's with Gormley once again, and that's wide. The big cheer is from the Cork fans up on the canal end. Disappointment for Enda Gormley. In the first half he kicked 4 points from 4 attempts. And that's a reminder of the score, 2-8 to 110, a point separating the teams, and just a little over 15 minutes to go. Don Davis. Stephen O'Brien coming from centre half back. Derry allowing Cork now to turn it on once again. It's Shea Fahy against 3 Cork men. Still Shea Fahy, needs a bit of support. Turning inside, John O'Driscoll's waiting in for it, but he's taken too many steps, and it's going to be a free out for Derry. And all this while, John O'Driscoll was in there waiting for the ball to come his way. Fergal McCusker. Good run out, stumbling over, the referee says play on. Dermot McNichol now. Getting a bit of encouragement from the Derry fans. That's Seamus Downey. Or Dermot Heaney rather. Heaney and Downey looking so alike. It's Heaney outside to Gormley. Gormley looking for the score. And it's the equaliser for Derry. Enda Gormley with the 5th point of the match. So the teams are level.
But Derry are going to have to fight hard for anything to get in this game. Great work by Dermot Heaney, winning the ball, laying it off very well. Again, Enda Gormley off the left foot, off the left side. Very difficult point, but a great point now. And now Derry should be a little less frantic than they have been for the last 5 minutes.
Brian McGilligan over there contesting with Shea Fahy. Fahy knocking it down to his wing back, who was anticipating, but it's back with McGilligan again. Ball picked up there by Johnny McGurk, laid forward here. Henry Downey in full charge. On it goes to Damien Barton for Derry. They're looking now for the lead score. It's a free in. The arms in the air there of Seamus Downey, saluting a fine run through the centre by Damien Barton. But there was a good injection of pace just a moment or two ago there from Henry Downey. And fitness is certainly going to play a huge part in the last minutes of this final. Ball coming off the post, but going over safely. Anthony Toho with a 3rd point. And Derry preparing to make another change. Eamon Burns is about to come into the Derry attack. The player going off is Seamus Downey. So that's a 2nd substitution having been made by Derry. Much was being said about Eamon Burns in the week leading up to this, as there's sympathetic applause for Downey, Derry's goal scorer. Burns is a fine prospect. John O'Driscoll was fouled by Henry Downey, trying to steal a yard away that time. 13 minutes to go. Barry Coffey. Thumped in well. Derry there in great numbers. And it's Kieran McKeever out to Tuhill. Now Heaney. And it's McKeever once again. A great bit of stuff, as they say in Derry. Brawley had stepped out over the line. Cork at the line ball. Taken quickly by Shea Fahy. Somehow held out there by Fergal McCusker. McCusker just trying to keep the ball away from the Cork lads. Colin Corkery. Will he go for a score here? It's going left. The big cheer now on Hill 16 from the Derry supporters.
Again, Derry there using too many short passes. Kieran McKeever giving a very, very bad pass away and causing problems with them.
Well, a short pass from the goalkeeper to Fergal McCusker. He's watched all the way by Kieran O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan from Urran. In towards John O'Driscoll. Breaks down, however, to Henry Downey. Picking up an awful lot of ball in the second half. I'm sure Eamon Coleman has said something to them at half-time, the like of which, you've got so far, are you going to let it slip now? Similar words, I no doubt, coming from Billy Morgan of Cork. McNichol. Niall Cahalane with the hand raised, hoping for a Cork ball.
Again, very silly play by Derry. I can't understand why they won't get the ball forward quickly to Brawley, but he is causing so many problems.
Kieran O'Sullivan kicking it in deep. Breaks away off Mick McCarthy's chest, down to Shea Fahy. Brian McGilligan going back. They're having a fair battle. Contesting everything as if their lives depended upon it. This time McGilligan pulling up Shea Fahy. A really miserable afternoon now at Croke Park. The threatening rain. More and more part of a damp setting. But a very good game as Joe Kavanagh lines up this kick. And Joe Kavanagh has put it wide. Cork have missed a few chances. That's a 7th wide for Cork. A 4th for the second half. Derry with 6 wides at the other end. Shea Fahy has it. Stubborn resistance by the Derry men. John McGurk and Brian McGilligan trying to be disciplined. Stephen O'Brien coming in there. Little frustration. Shea Fahy appearing to be just a little bit injured, winded perhaps after that. So Danny Cullity will come in to contest. Fahy has done really well. He answered those who said that he mightn't be 100% fit. Don Davis knocking it forward, but the referee again has spotted some pushing. And the judgment goes against Cork. Johnny McGurk towards Joe Brawley, very much the danger man in attack for Derry. And again the referee's whistle has sounded just as Joe Brawley was in the clear. That was for a foul there on Eamon Burns by Mark O'Connor. Cork are making a change and John Cleary is coming into the Cork attack. John about to present a little slip of paper to the referee Tommy Hard, and Mick McCarthy goes off, so the team captain has been replaced by a player who's very much in form in training. But time now ebbing away. 8 minutes to go. Gormley.
Come on, Johnny! Come on, Johnny!
McGurk on his left boot, and he's put it over the bar. Johnny McGurk with a second point. 2 between them. Is it to be Derry's day?
Well, Johnny McGurk does it again. Certainly doesn't shun the responsibility of shooting anyway. Quick thinking by Gormley to give it to him, and a great point again.
Ball fisted down from the kick out by McGilligan. It'll be a frantic last 6 or 7 minutes now, you can be sure of that. John O'Driscoll up towards Colin Corkery, fisted down by Tony Scully. What a match he's had. Tohill here running into a challenge there from the number 11, who is Joe Kavanagh. Henry Downey now skipping away there from John Cleary. McGurk again. So many McGurks, 6 in all, have played for Derry with great distinction down the years. Is this to be the biggest day in the county's history? The referee says play on. McGurk again steadying himself, and Barry Coffey this time catches him high, and the referee reaching for the notebook. McGurk in need of attention. Barry Coffey had put out the right hand to try and restrain him, accepting the referee's judgment, taking the lecture.
Yes, in that case, Johnny McGurk solos and dummies Barry Coffey. Very high, very dangerous tackle, but again, Johnny McGurk is very small, and when Coffey went to tackle high like that, he was always going to get him on the head.
It's a very high challenge indeed, but I feel Barry Coffey had his right hand out to try and restrain McGurk, but caught him very badly.
But Johnny McGurk is the extra man, and there's only 3 players in the Derry half of the field, and Johnny McGurk should get back there and cover off, because Derry, if they don't give away a goal, will win the game.
This is important. It's gone over the bar. Gormley with a 6 point. 3 points from frees for Enda Gormley. He got 3 from play as well, and he's opened up a 3-point gap. It's looking good for the Oakleaf County of Derry. Conor Coonahan has just been brought into the Cork team, number 18. They've pushed Stephen O'Brien forward. Colin Corkery, I think, is the one who's gone off, or has he? Yes, he has. So Corkery is off. It's a bit of a gamble. There are only 5 minutes left. Cork trail by 3, and Barry Coffey has it. Not such a good shot. Partially blocked by Gary Coleman. Comes out to Kieran McKeever once again for Derry. Coleman standing strong. Into McNichol. So much support play from the Derry players. I think they feel the All-Ireland is within their grasp now. Dermot McNichol saying, let's take it nice and easy. The injured player there. Danny Cullity. Billy Morgan has done well to take him to this final. But can they prevail? It's not looking good right now. Dermot Heaney has it. Back out to McGilligan. They'll be looking for another point to try and kill off the Cork challenge. Heaney once again, back to Brawley it goes. Getting some support from Enda Gormley. Now Cahalane has been standing back from Gormley a bit noticeably in the second half. He's already been booked, of course, from the first. That's a good ball inside. Reaches Gary Coleman, the manager's son. Back towards Eamon Burns. Burns with Cahalane in the challenge. Brawley has it. Cork have a man down injured at the moment. That's John O'Driscoll. Ball's gone wide. You feel that only a goal will save Cork at this stage. Sean Kearns for the 14 men from the south. That's broken down by the Ulster champions. Ball comes out towards Barry Coffey. Heaney now winning it back with McNichol in support. Referee says ball touched on the ground, free to Cork. They're anxious to take it quickly. Conor Coonahan, the number 18, moving away. This is the other number 18, McNichol. Ball won down there by Stephen O'Brien, trying to set up a Cork attack. Blocked down well, free into Cork. Disappointment for Henry Downey. Referee saw something in there. Looks on his watch. Under 2 minutes left. Derry so near the title. Joe Kavanagh standing back from this one. Derry bringing everybody bar Eamon Burns and Joe Brawley back. There's about 10 Derry men now in front of Joe Kavanagh as he goes for this one. It's blocked down, comes back to Kavanagh again. The ball inside towards Stephen O'Brien, one back it's again. In the end, booted away somehow out of danger by Fergal McCusker. And Derry feel that they have the title, but Cork will not give up. That's John Cleary. Enda Gormley back there playing a kind of left half back role. Eamon Coleman over there. And he's been playing the game almost as a 16th man for Derry. We're under a minute left now, plus possible injury time. Cleary to take it. Pumped in towards Joe Kavanagh, runs away from him, runs away from Barry Coffey as well. Anthony Tohill has it. Tohill for the Derry men. Henry Downey just outside him, his team captain. Getting support from Johnny McGurk. McGurk adjudged to be fouled by Danny Cullity. Some critical decisions now going Derry's way. In terms of scoring chances, Derry set up 26, Cork 20. Derry took 15, Cork 10. In scores, it's Derry 114, Cork 28. That is 17 points to 14. We're into the final seconds of the 104th All-Ireland football final. Broken down by Enda Gormley to Gary Coleman of Derry. Are Derry now set to follow down in 91 and Donegal in 92? They've got a free in. Joe Brawley fouled by Brian Corcoran. and they'll be in no particular hurry to take this free kick. Brian McGilligan just having a word there with Joe Brolly, the 24-year-old barrister in the Gormley, with the linesman there, Martin Murphy from Mayo, indicating where the free's to come from. Gormley will be the taker. And Tommy Hart says, you delayed too long, and I'm going to throw the ball up. There were Derry players actually moving away from Gormley that time. This time there's a shot by Tohill. It's a free to Cork. Shea Fahy will be the taker. Down it goes to Stephen O'Brien. This has to be it for Cork. As McGurk slips, McGilligan goes back. It's Stephen O'Brien against Derry. Still Stephen O'Brien, and the referee says it's going to be a free back. The whistle had sounded, but O'Brien was doing it all on his own, it seemed, against Derry. So Derry must live on their nerves. Likewise the Cork lads. A great rallying run that time by Stephen O'Brien. It produces a free kick. Cleary is the taker, but Damien Barton wasn't back 13 metres, so it's now a free on the 13-metre line. So it's all down to this. Cork must get a goal, otherwise it's Derry's title. That's hit in and it's gone out, and they're arguing inside as to whether it's a 45 or not. And Derry say no, Cork say yes. Tommy Hard goes with the Corkmen on this occasion. Fergal McCusker anxious to know how much is left. I make it we played 1 minute and 53 seconds of injury time. And I think Tommy Hard has informed Cork that time is almost up. Kieran O'Sullivan will be the taker. There'll be a big invasion by Derry men if Cork fail to get a goal here. It's a tall order. In it goes. Comes out to end the Gormley. Derry lift the siege and Derry are the champions! Derry win the All-Ireland final of 1993. Sam Maguire is going north for a third successive year. Damien Barton and Gary Coleman did the business. The fans can celebrate up on Hill 16. More of them have made their way onto the field. It was a stirring encounter. Derry did well. They held on to win by 3 points. But history will record that Derry are champions for the first time in their history. They win the title by 3 points. Confirmation of the final score. It's Derry 114, Cork 2 goals and 8. Peter Quinn makes the presentation, and it's Henry Downey who takes Sam back to Derry. Oh, Sammy boy, they'll sing tonight. As I was saying, it's a very popular victory. It really will be. Cork bitterly disappointed, no doubt, but they'll be the first, knowing their sporting nature, to say to Derry, well done.
The sound of your head. Yes, so the All-Ireland football title goes to Derry for the first time in their history, and I have no doubt that it set off a chain reaction of celebration up around Mahara and Lavey and places like that to equal anything that we've seen in recent times in Gaelic football. Well, the celebration's also in full swing, as you've seen in the Shelbourne Hotel, where Derry are enjoying their victory banquet, and we'll be joining them a little bit later on. But for the moment, though, we're going to hear from our panellist, Colm O'Rourke, who's still taking it all in there, down at the Shelbourne Hotel. Colm, this afternoon, a good match, conditions less than perfect for it, but a really good game of football, and Derry deserving winners?
Yes, I suppose the first thing we'd have to say about Derry were certainly deserving winners. They were the better team. The conditions weren't great, a strong wind blowing down the field into the railway goal, and sod seemed to be quite wet early on, even though it dried up as the game progressed. But conditions weren't just sort of ideal for football. But overall, a very, very good game, especially the first half. There was a lot of very, very good skill, a lot of good scores, a lot of good passing, and overall, I would say one of the better games of the year.
Well, we saw Derry earlier in the year mastering tough conditions. They did the same again today.
Yes, in the Ulster final, they played the worst conditions of the year, and they used the short passing that day to reasonably good effect. And they stuck with that style of play most of the year, and it paid off with them again today.
Hi, Colin. Well, we'll be hearing more from Colin in a few minutes, but right now we're going to take a commercial break. Coming up after that, analysis of the game, a look at the minor final and our man of the match selection. So join us again in a few minutes.
All right, listen up. We have a fugitive that's been on the run for 90 minutes. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or doghouse in this area.
Harrison Ford is the fugitive.
There's a new face down at Bird's Eye Country Club. Deep-filled vegetable and cheese crowns from Country Club Cuisine. Vegetables you can make a meal of.
Grandad, want to come and get some ice cream?
I think you might be quicker on your own, son.
Oh, I remember the first time I went for ice cream. I ran all the way to Hazelbrook Farm. Watching them make the ice cream with all those natural dairy ingredients, I couldn't wait to get home and try some. And you know, HB ice cream still tastes every bit as good today as it did when I was a boy.
Hazelbrook Farm from HB, Ireland's favourite ice cream.
See the exclusive range of bathroom suites in PJ Matthews' new showrooms at Ballysimon Road, Limerick. Remember, nobody matches Matthews, the plumbing and heating specialists.
Sanyo TVs, videos, hi-fis, camcorders, microwave ovens and portable audio systems. The value is simply electric at Power World, Tume Road, Galway.
Tasty and tempting food and
Sure, body responsive. It won't let you down.
A Taste of Ireland. 16 great tracks featuring Johnny Carroll, Louise Morrissey,
in the valley of Slievamon,
Declan Nerney,
among the weak
and Foster and Allen.
If we only had
A Taste of Ireland. Also available a taste of country and a taste of hits.
New Unifiller from Unibond. Its added adhesive means when it goes in, it stays in. New Unifiller. It won't let you down.
Mike doesn't have a problem with spots. Every day, he ducks the problem.
Jo doesn't have a problem with spots. Every day, she keeps them under her hat.
Katie doesn't have a problem with spots either. She doesn't get so many.
Because Clearasil lotion every day helps prevent spots. Dirt and grease can block your pores, but Clearasil lotion's medicated action clears the pores to help prevent spots.
Clearasil lotion helps keep your spots away. Clearasil lotion.
Daily.
Put yourself in the driving seat with Airtel's Cars for Sale section from Auto Search on Teletext page 350. Whether you're buying or selling, looking for a limousine or a runabout, Airtel has something for you in its A to Z index. And if you want to see what the garages have on offer, each dealer has a list of cars in stock. So get motoring with Auto Search on Airtel Teletext page 350.
Welcome back again to the Sunday game on All-Ireland Football Night. Well, we'll be visiting the winners in that scene there at their hotel a little bit later on in the Sunday game. We'll also be naming our man of the match from this year's final. But right now, though, it's time for analysis of the game. And we'll begin by taking a look at the statistics from the match. The sides were absolutely equal in terms of the number of wides kicked, 7 misses by each of the teams. Not much in it in terms of frees conceded either. 64 frees was a lot of what was generally a sporting game, with Derry conceding 4 more than the Cork men. Cork had 21 scoring chances and they converted 10 of them, while Derry had 26 scoring chances and they raising a flag with 15 of theirs. Right then, let's talk to Colm O'Rourke about today's match. Colm, winning a first All-Ireland final, as you did with Meath. Now, it wasn't the first ever for Meath, of course, but still, you know, to make that breakthrough and to win, it's a great occasion. It must be something very, very special.
Yes, it's an absolutely incredible feeling for players, but for everybody in the county as well. It's not just the players. All of Derry, I'm sure, will rejoice in this. And I suppose we think of Derry as a very big city and a very big county, but really and truly, Derry footballers are picked from quite a small pool. And with very little football in Derry City, and this should give a massive boost to football in the city of Derry, considering that everybody from Derry seemed to be down here today, and the scene after the match was just incredible.
It was brilliant. It was absolutely fabulous to see the colour and the excitement in Croke Park, and indeed all around the whole Croke Park area afterwards. Colm, going into our analysis, let's have a look at some of the phone calls that we've had in. Most people agree that it was a very good game today and they enjoyed it, but Michael Maloney from Clare, who was obviously watching this afternoon, our live transmission, he said he had to argue with a comment made by Mick O'Dwyer that it was one of the best games in history, and he wants to know, was Mick drinking or something? Well, I can tell you one thing that Mick definitely wasn't doing, was drinking. Derry Canty from County Cork, he says congratulations to Derry, but the referee in today's game was substandard, and especially regarding the Niall Cahalane and Tony Davis incidents. A lot of calls about the overcrowding at Croke Park today at the canal end. Ned O'Sullivan from Leopardstown felt it was disgraceful, and he felt had it not been for the intervention of the Gardaí and stewards, there could have been a serious incident. And Raymond McBride of Ballyfermot wants to know, was it because of forged tickets, or were the GA simply being over-greedy and overselling? A Meath supporters was on the hill today. Now, this is over at the other end on Hill 16, and noted that the gates were opened afterwards, and he felt this created a great crush and caused a lot of problems there. A Kerry caller, Larry Regan, said that Anthony Davis should not have been sent off today, but it would have done Kerry a world of good if Cork had won today, because it would have given Kerry something to aim for next year. Well, I suppose that's one way of looking at it. And Ray O'Mahony from Dublin said the referee had a terrible performance, especially in the second half today. A comment about the refereeing today, Colm, from you?
Well, overall, I don't think Tommy Howard had a good game. I was surprised, actually, that after the semi-final, I was very surprised that Tommy Sugru, who I thought gave a very good performance in the Derry-Dublin semi-final, didn't get the final, but certainly it wasn't one of Tommy Howard's better performances today, and I think that we'll be looking at the Tony Davis incident later on, but I think he made an awful lot of very, very bad mistakes.
OK, we'll look at that later on, but let's look at the positive aspects of play today. A fine performance by Derry. What was the winning of this match for them?
Well, I thought that if Derry were able to hold Colin Corkery and John O'Driscoll before the game, that they'd be well on their way to victory, and they did that. They started off poorly. Cork seemed intent on steamrolling them out of the game in the first 10 or 15 minutes, and they played with great flair and a lot of skill in that first 10 or 15 minutes, and Derry didn't seem to be able to cope with the pace of the Cork attack. But Derry showed they were a mature side. They held their head, settled down, and got back from a 5-point deficit, and I think that was the strength of the team, that they didn't panic. Even though they had the wind, they'd gone 5 down, and they just kept playing away, took down the lead, and then, of course, went in front coming up to half-time.
I suppose it's stating the obvious, Colm, to say that what it's all about is putting the ball over the bar, or indeed into the goal, and Derry, in terms of taking points, just did it so well today.
Yes, we have a few incidents here, a few points that Derry got, and the first one, the most important point probably of all, Johnny McGurk doing as he did against Dublin, coming up and kicking a great one. It's great to get the first point on the board. Derry had gone a long time without getting it. Then Fergal McCusker makes a great run up along the line. And the Gormy looks for somebody to give it, it doesn't. Kicks a fantastic point from a very, very awkward angle there with his left foot. And Derry got a lot of very good points. Dermot McNichol here bursting through as he did for most of the second half. Henry Downey pushing aside the tackle of Barry Coffey, gives it to McNichol, and McNichol will never score another point like that, I'd say, anyway. I'd say he'll keep that one on video for the rest of his life.
All right, look, there was 3 goals in the game today. Now, Cork got 2 of those, but perhaps the key goal was that Derry goal, because they badly needed it at that stage now.
Yes, that, I think, was a very, very important incident in the whole game, because up to that, Derry had got points, but they hadn't got in front, and they had the win. So, you know, you'd really need to have been 4 or 5 up at half-time. Now, that will go down as a mistake by John Kearns. I think that he either should have came for that ball or shouted at Mark O'Connor to take it. He didn't do either. Now, we had 2 very good goals from Cork as well. Joe Kavanagh really bursting through there. Bursts past Henry Downey, which is not very easy to do, and really sticks it away in the net. And we had an even better goal, probably the best goal we've seen this year. Again, Don Davis does great work. Takes on Gary Coleman, shows his strength by holding him off, and then puts a great pass across the field to John O'Driscoll. When he gets it, he absolutely buries it in the corner of the net. Now, that's an absolutely brilliant goal by any standards.
Yeah, that was a super goal by O'Driscoll. Watching it down over the canal end today where we were, there was absolutely no doubt in his mind. Once he got that ball into his hand, he was going for goal. Took it very well.
Yes, and he put it right in the corner because Damien McCusker made a great attempt at stopping it. And he put it in the only place nearly that McCusker hadn't covered.
Sure. Let's get on to the Niall Cahalan incident, because a lot of phone calls obviously about this column. PJ Coughlin in County Offaly said it's about time the GAA used video evidence after the game to review such incidents. Eugene Gay from Tyrrell's Pass, County Westmeath. If Tommy Carr got 6 months with video evidence, Niall Cahalan should get some of the same treatment. A Clare caller said, will the GAA suspend Niall Cahalan on video evidence? And Terry McCall from Navan is wondering if there'll be any post-match disciplinary action on Niall Cahalan. Let's take a look at the incident again itself and see what you made of this. Now, maybe something went on before this, who knows, but certainly it was a punch.
Yes, well, there was a bit of jostling. You can see actually down in the bottom corner there where you can see that Cahalan and Gormley had jostled just before that, but no one can say anything but that was a desperate thing to do by Niall Cahalan, and he should have been put off for it. Again, when we see it in slow motion, you can see there that Gormley sort of tries to push him off. It was harmless enough what Gormley did in comparison to the punch that Cahalan made on him afterwards, and I think that the fella who bore the brunt of it, in fact, was Tony Davis. I think he was sent off because the referee felt he was losing control at that stage, and that is not a bad tackle by any standards. Davis went in, he hadn't his elbow up, he tried to shoulder Dermot Heaney, I think it was, who was going down on the ball, and he just goes straight over the top of him. He doesn't even hit him. Now, it was a free, all right, but certainly wasn't a sending off offence, and it was a very rash thing to do by the referee, because I think it's fault again a little bit as well. And the other thing about it was I couldn't understand why he took Niall Cahalan's name. Like, if he took his name, he obviously realised that something had happened. So if he took his name, he should have put him off. But sending off Davis was wrong. I think it's just, that's my opinion on it. I think it was totally wrong and very, very harsh on Tony Davis.
OK, Colin, well, I suppose Nora Collins from County Cork sums up what a lot of phone callers are saying. They say that Tony Davis was badly wrong today and that the wrong man was sent off. She also says, by the way, well done to Derry. It was a great game and they deserve to win. The fact that Cork were reduced to 14 men in the second half, how big a bearing had that on the game?
Well, when Davis was sent off, Cork were behind, and then they had to push up, and this left a bit of space for Derry to attack them. Of course, they got in front when John O'Driscoll put away that goal. Derry held their head very well at that stage too. But another factor I thought which contributed largely to Derry's victory was the sheer fitness that they had. Cork had to use an awful lot of energy to make up for the extra man, because they all had to do a little bit extra. And at the end, Derry seemed to be going much the stronger, just as they were against Dublin and just as they were in most of the championship matches this year. Again, a great tribute to Eamon Coleman and Mickey Moran for the type of training and type of preparation that they have done with this team.
OK, one final phone call for you before we close on this particular one, Colin. This comes from Dermot Burke in Callan, County Kilkenny. A question for Colin O'Rourke. Does it make him feel old that Henry Downey named him as his childhood hero?
I think Henry must have got mixed up in the celebrations after today. I think it was Nick O'Connell he was talking about.
Well, that's the analysis from this year's final taken care of then. Well, let's hear some other views now, however. And we're going to go over to the Winners' Hotel, where their celebrations, as you saw, are in full swing. Ger Canning is swinging down there with them.
Well, Henry is here, and yes, Colin O'Rourke, of course, is his idol, but it's as a goalkeeper. Is that right? You're celebrating.
Yes, we are. And when I said that, I thought that when my time came to play an All-Ireland final, that Colin O'Rourke would have been long since retired, but he's still going strong.
It's a terrific day for Derry football.
Fantastic day, and we've worked very hard to get here. We knew that we'd have to up our game after the Dublin game to win today, and I think the Derry team deserves utmost praise, because the football we played today, we've always felt that we threatened it all year, and at last it came through for us.
The support you got from all parts of Derry must have made you feel absolutely delighted.
Fantastic. We got a tremendous reception yesterday when we tried to leave. In fact, it took us a couple of errors to get out of Dungiven and Mahara felt. Tremendous support the whole way down, and I think the hill today for any Derry supporter was, was a sight to remember.
Now, you're a school teacher. I suppose there'll be a couple of lost there coming up now.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think maybe give the school teaching a rest for a day or two.
Let's move on to Eamon. Eamon, a happy man.
Very happy tonight, yeah.
Did you believe at the outset of the campaign, at the beginning of this season, that there was an All-Ireland in this team?
Well, I've been saying since the beginning of the year that 93 I thought would be Derry's year. And after beating down and Derry, I felt that we could go on and lift the Ulster title at least.
There is a story, it may be just a rumour, but during that game you were supposed to have said to the players, if you don't win this, I'm on my way back to England.
I don't know if I said that or not now. I think it's a bit of a story.
We were watching you there today, going all around the ground. You were playing every ball with the players.
The tension was high in the last 10 minutes today, and Cork was still very dangerous, a very good team, and I was glad to hear the final whistle.
What is it going to mean now to the development of Gaelic games in Derry?
It's going to be tremendous for Derry football, and this is something that Derry needed. They needed a lot more than Cork today anyway.
And Sam is going back.
It'll be a big night in Mahara tomorrow night.
I'd say all over Derry. Thank you very much indeed. Well done to you.
Indeed, I'm sure it's going to be a great night. Indeed, a great week in Derry. Well, from father to son, because left half back, although he started at left corner back, of course, was Gary Coleman. Gary, was there a lot of pressure on you today, particularly when the old man was the manager?
He's a hard man to play, so he is, and I think you have to do a wee bit more to... He still wasn't too happy in the game much over the day with me.
Now, your job was to mark Colin Corkery, and certainly, tactically, it seemed to work well eventually for Derry.
Well, I don't know how I done on him, for after 20 minutes I was taken off him again, so I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
You always believed, though, in Derry, even when I met you at the start of the championship, you always believed that, yes, this could be our year. You seem to have great self-belief.
The only thing we wanted this year was the Sam, and we had a hard path, and I think we deserved it more than Cork, because the route to the final was very difficult.
Was there ever a moment today when you said, yes, we have Sam?
Full time.
And not a moment before. Well, the guy beside you, Gary, when I told him he was going to be interviewed live on RT television, he said, great, I always want to be Tom Cruise of Derry. Joe Brolly, it's great to have you.
It's a good job I'm standing behind the bishop. You'll be in real trouble.
1 point today, Joe, and it was a beauty.
Thanks. I'm just trying to maximise it here and exaggerate. Was it not 2 points now?
We were expecting 2 points, Joe Brolly.
3, I missed another goal as well, that's another.
Great moment for you and indeed for everybody in Dungiven particularly.
That was a marvellous moment. We knew we had them when they went 5 points up, because that tends to make Derry teams very upset. I could see Henry Downey getting his shoulders set, Boys, they've done it again here. It was a great day, marvellous day, and in some ways it was easier than the semi-final, where we had maybe 15-20 minutes up to the final whistle, where barring a sort of a sucker punch from Cork, we had the game won. The pattern of the game was in Derry's favour at that stage, unlike the semi-final, where we were sort of...
You didn't think when John O'Driscoll got his goal that you were in deep trouble?
Well, whenever they scored the goal in 2 points at the start of the match, I sort of, got visions of Kerry's golden years. Derry have experienced this sort of thing before. 5 goals in the space of 7 minutes. What's next? But once we settle down, once the game settled down and the pattern of the game established itself, we get back onto the groove again, and the defence sort of got very much on top. And really, the 2 goals came out of the blue. I think that would be fair to say. They weren't part of the pattern of the game. They were marvellous goals, but they weren't, in the pattern of the game.
Well, I'm sure that you'll celebrate for a long time in Derry. Gary Coleman, Joe Brolly, thank you both very much indeed.
Yes, the celebrations really are in full swing. We'll be back here, of course, at Shelburne Hotel a little bit later on. But while it's celebration time for Derry today in the senior football, disappointment for Cork, but they have at least cause to celebrate minor success. There it was Cork against Meath. Commentary from Micheál O'Shea.
agus sí seanna buchala anna fellad óidé seo anna chumas a chochmas na grí Wittesteach agus siúd agus sa fantastig agus Seamus O'Clean Wittesteach agus gadi Alan O'Regan anna hansa Alan O'Regan agus hata hema well hesir kick fúlveder agus tahad anna Jeshenson ige Corpig Alan O'Regan ach sávalta istig ige Utenami agus kick fúlveder agus tahad shahe emachtasteach an pass live an son o Seamus O'Clean gadi Alan O'Regan agus an erdinach Kalaisha Shinkesh Hio dímasig agus éidirig Martin O'Cronin a winterach ach sa buiter siúd agus siachún several glasne an vai sé siúd an get scored a chunt enemy Wittesteach John Home agus an get scored agus several glasne an maid na bíhe several glasne vi gimmert Selina Lantasach an idig agus sehinnis a ríiste fachtige an Pavlov Poitke a macht leis isteach agus Wiltige isteach idir na Coelí. Several glasne ríis gan éinis agus Wiltige isteach agus siúd gadi Alan O'Finnegan anna íireach tó Alan O'Finnegan agus anna Coelí. Alan O'Finnegan an maid na bíhe Coelín daf na chunt enemy. Corpig gimmert Benami Farinis ach níd na scóran á bhaid. Agus néna to hashe the tip finish Champnell is dependable Shahe dependable anna hansige Kane or Bishama and Vice goal dependable Machanish ready Seamus O'Clean and a pole and Wood Peter Wilton never more on the Stephenson David Dino with the Billy Anna Era von Kilano Seamus O'Clean and Sarrua a ball in the Kaide agus ag an aftersteach an Leon Tán. Disheligin, Vader and Count on the Gishkin, Shrinsona, Seamus O'Clean, Anna Irachwig, agus Pibre, a Dirigi, Wola, Lena Oran, agus Vader Gurgin, Peter Nargin, ach Emihet Lana Stach an Leon Tán. Agus Pibre, Gortehe, da Warson, Shrinsona and Ishe, Seamus O'Clean, Fakta go Hall in her Fadige, Irach Luch Wig Shoot, agus a gaidi go hard Lena Oran, Pibre, Vader gur hang a ball Shelehe, Vader Elenargin, Schneer Riste. Wilt ik glootjes vat, trast an Huil, Pibre Lenagoran, agus Stachan Leon Tán, Vader gur si dolle stach gedi de Fedenos. Seamus Collins, so maybe punched in by Brian Cutfirst, but I would say the ball was on its way anyway, so lead by 1 point, they're playing against the wind, 18 minutes gone. Shahe an long Foley, Ken O'Connell, agus Wilte ag a siúd, gadi Polo Flynn, gadi an Kilánach, Tarrua, Kilánach isteach gadi Polo Flynn, gadi Martin O'Cronin, agus na Corpig, an Anthony Saranish, an Kilánach Reis, Roda an Dóda, Champfinish, an Ian Lamoy, agus Anna Polo Reis, agus Ian Pibre, an Balderson, an Captain and Son, agus Anna Hostelician. Brian Pibre, agus the Reis had been for Gortehe. Agus Sinead Lochtafiach the Chorpí, an Croninach and Lenagoran, Wittesteach Roadach and Gilánach, ach Shahe Brian Pibre, agus well, we sure no cadder team played Anna Vertiach Dientige, agus an Poulson a Rhein Show. Marschen, a Rohisteach and Son, an Gilánach, I reidig le siúd, reidig le Pibre, na chéin íireach dianta an son, ag a mac tréanir, stop, a cheteir, agus marsin, Corpig I me hefan cín. De Shelim son agin an Kilánach a dierig gáil, agus cóla fachtige, bhíon Pibre, ball na caide, agus mac tréanir, agus siúr ennig os na cóla he tímpleid, agus tetithe ar fad an íireach san stop. Sean o búchala, bhfuilte go deasige. Joe in the Carlo game, O'Clean and it's Tigerike, the Corpig. On Heidkrig go Buchala Gudi, O'Clean, Seamus O'Clean, a Kalish Genta Shoot, Sneensone, Sean Buchala, a ball in the Kaidi, Stach, a Joe, the Carnoige, O'Clean, the Dalton Show, Agus Kalish Genta, it's a Pihan Talon, Marsham Tigerike. Johannic, Wittesteach, agus Travolta, ag Neil O'Clean, Wittesteach díach an a hill, agus Tuairteach sin. Ó, an pull bhfuil tigad an padna huairsa chlutha. Ach seo hé Alan O'Reilly gáin. Alan amach leis isteach agus dhéireach dúd táirithe. Sean O'Buchala. Steach a John Cole. Ní táirithe stig a Níl Huckra gáin. Hanna Hábháil díon stig a Níl. Hanna Hábháil go dúr díon stig a Níl Huckra gáin. Ball a chumgur a chuid a bhíon a Corpaí agus Jason Sunagin a ruhisteach Sean O'Buchala agus an Cole Boide in léman nuas an Sunide agus a teachtamach lethe. Nigel O'Reilly gáin ar a bheith Paul beidir ar tí teachta a bhach a chunta na mí ach seo heb trefar ó glasne. Nigel a Dalavan son agus Olivier Omar a chó. California, Patrick Gaston, Ashton Mila, Walker-Leen, into the 4 minutes. Agus, getting on with the idea, Emma and ahead. California, on Lampota, Nensona, on Hyde and Sonag, Olivier Omar Khu, with the Barrow California, Rohishtak, Agus Harish Gaston, Agus Anish, right, Nigel O'Reilly going, Taka at a boy. Och tref gydys agos na Corpaí, Tiki ni get content mí, dier ag roic an a wach agus a céile den Giedo Riel, ach seach amach dyn o Cronin. Dach gyda Alan O'Reilly gáin, Alan Post agus Alan O'Reilly gáin, amach dys ystach anish. Cwrgyd i Macarig ige, Macarig ystach a John Cole, Neil O'Cre gáin. Na fechaid agos a tachtamach lehe. An a hongrocht an bref líne. Agus a dier ag i stop yn son, Neil O'Farrile. An Trevánach agus bhfuil le fásta gur stop Shane Counson. Éonsonné an taid amachtasteach agus an tonadaí a tarachaide. Machgadí lápáitce agus achtam a haige óló 69 a puinte a haige Trevor O'Glasne. Amach gadí Neil O'Farrile. Helmwood pada gadí an bestach an dáid. Agus Calais Dianton Sunnid Olivier Omar a Khu. Olivier Omar a Khu kicks here. No hige, da chunte, na mí, an taun geaulis a stig, seachan omat mihin, dig haidbwyrtys da Olivier Omar Khu, go hísol, sárahe, endi o sé da chostig. An adog sé dig an nofrwyr ag a shré, Craig na héren, bwyse ag a chostig, an neo oed, agus i ag a celwr an sa, a bwart a chrwfig.
Some measure of consolation for Cork in taking the minor All-Ireland title then, and the Tom Markham Cup is with them at their official function. Well, that is taking place at the moment out at the Royal Marine Hotel in Dunleary, and Jim Carney is out there with the Cork men.
Well, the Tom Markham Cup for the winning minor team is a much coveted prize, and Brian Cuthbert, you're the man with the honour of bringing this cup back to Cork, and I'd say that means a lot to you.
It does actually, great honour, Jim. Never really dreamed of the day that I'd be taking the cup home back to Leeside, like. But it's great for the club too at home, Bishopstown. Great for everyone. But captain really in name, I suppose everyone did their job.
But I bet coming up through the ranks under 12, under 14, under 16, Brian, a lot of people along the way helped you. You couldn't name them all, but I'll bet you're proud for the club, as you say.
Delighted, Jim, really. It was really, the underage out in Bishopstown was really taking shape now, you know, and it's great really for the club.
And this match today was a hard game for you, Brian, but you would be expecting that anyway in the final.
We had a lot of talk about Meath, right, that they're an excellent team, you know, we knew that our work would be cut out, but we really gave it our all and kept going at them, and, you know, they had no answer to us, or continuous attacking, you know, they just could only foul and gave away frees.
And of course it was a long campaign. I mean, a lot of you fellas playing in schools and with the clubs and that, you probably feel it's a long year.
Yeah, at the moment we're very tired, but with the celebration now today, we'll make up for it.
Well, Ken O'Connell, many congratulations to you, some outstanding performances at full-back, and you're a St. Michael's man, so down in the club I bet there are people too who helped you along the way.
Yeah, over the last few years, you know, there's been a lot of work put into the club, Lord Michaels, and I have a lot to thank the club for my representation on the Cork winning team this year.
And then you came along to play for the county, Ken. I mean, did you feel that it would be hard for maybe players who would be rivals at club level to come in and get a team spirit going, the bond that a county team needs?
Well, from playing in City Division and County Championships, we knew each other fairly well already, and you know, a bond built up throughout the year, through training and matches. So towards the end, like, we were just one big, you know, we were a group, like.
All to the one goal, bringing home this cup.
Yeah.
And I bet you're looking forward to getting home tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it's tonight. We're looking forward to tonight, tomorrow.
All right. Well done, and congratulations to you both and the team and your selectors and mentors.
Thanks.
Well, Don Davis, after it had all been so wonderful for Skip, O'Donovan Rossa, today the big disappointment for you.
Yes, I think losing an All-Ireland football final is definitely one of the most disappointing things in a fella's career, but I must say Derry on the day proved that they are well able to play football, and I'd like to congratulate them. You know, I think they had a great performance. But just from my own personal point of view, I think it's a very sad day for my own family, because Tony, in my own point of view anyway, should not have been sent off. I think it was a terrible decision by the referee, so just think that on top of everything else, it just makes the day fairly bad, you know.
How is he feeling? Have you been talking to him since you left the dressing room?
Well, I haven't really been talking to him since I left the dressing room, because, you know, he just wants to kind of be left alone at the moment, you know.
And through the years, he's a young man himself, but you're only 24, Don. He must have been a big inspiration to you.
Well, growing up through the years, I suppose, you know, you have to try and follow somebody, you know, so I think it was great help to me growing up, you know.
Now, we'll move on, Don, to Joe Kavanagh, who also played a great game. Indeed, you both did, as we'll hear from Larry in a moment. Joe Kavanagh, your goal is a memory to cherish from this final.
I suppose so, Jim, but I know victory in the end of the day is everything, you know, so whatever happens on the field, you know, if you're on the losing side, any goal like that doesn't make up for anything, you know.
Still, it was a great score. Can you remember the ball into you?
I can't. It was actually Don who gave me the pass, you know, and I think I broke through two Derry defenders and just came through, and the keeper came out and slipped alongside him. But
well, Joe, you're only 22, and as a minor you had a lot of success. So how do you feel about this one now? It's the other side of it.
Looking at the minors there, I can remember 91, you know, but it'd have been a lot better had both of us won, you know, but there has to be a loser on today, so just congratulate Derry, I suppose.
Larry Tompkins, you went through your own trauma and your own heartache not playing today, but let's look on the positive side. The two lads here beside you both played superbly. I'm sure they were candidates for man of the match. That must be heartening to you and to the Cork camp.
Definitely. I think we've introduced a lot of young players this year, Jim, and Victor to Don and Joe today, and Kieran Sullivan and Conor Coffey, just a few to mention. But it's great to see them playing well, and especially our minor team as well. It was a great success, and congratulate them as well. I think that argues well for the future of Cork football.
Yeah, speaking of Cork football, we've talked about Derry earlier on, but Colin O'Rourke, if I may come back to you again, it's been a great 5-6 years for Billy Morgan and many of that Cork team. They've achieved a great level of success. What about the future? Where do they go from here now?
Well, I think Cork are a team of vast potential. I think the young players that they've brought into their side are as good as there is in the country, if not a lot better. And Larry Tompkins spoke there about the likes of Colin Corkery and Don Davis and Joe Kavanagh and Kieran O'Sullivan. There is no other county team who have managed to bring in and successfully transplant that sort of element into their side this year. And they have the experienced players. None of those players are too old. And I think Cork are certainly going to be a team for the next few years.
Okay, thank you again. Time for us to take another break now. But there are still some important matters to be tidied up here on the programme, like who will be selected as our man of the match from this year's All-Ireland football final. Well, you can find out in just a few minutes.
Fantastic Navan and Ulster carpet promotion now on at all branches of Des Kelly. Unbelievable value at Des Kelly's. Des Kelly, the top.
When you need that little bit extra, bite into Winner. Cool and satisfying with crunchy nuts, caramel and dairy ice cream, covered in thick, delicious chocolate. Winner from HB, the cool energy bar.
Sound time.
Today, women are demanding more than colour from their cosmetics. So we took up the challenge, looked beneath the surface, and discovered the answer there in our hands. Now, Company You Trust has created a new range of cosmetics that combines colour with skin care, derived from a blend of camellia oil and vitamin E. Cosmetics with care from Yardley. The caring face of Yardley.
Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin.
It's good to be back here in mystical Ireland. It really is.
Are you going for a pint, or what?
No country has endured the hemorrhage.
Top of the morning to ya! Calling the cyclonic variable from time to time. There is another Ireland. You can't handle the truth! The playground of the world.
Maybe that's just blarney.
Are you saying that I killed my wife?
I didn't kill my wife! Put that gun down! Ah!
Harrison Ford is the fugitive.
Welcome back again. Now, we've been looking through some more of the phone calls here, and Liz Howard, who of course used to be our panellist here in the Sunday Game, rang in to say that Joe Brolly has much more sex appeal than Tom Cruise, and he's also an excellent footballer. And apparently our girls upstairs answering the phones all agree with that point of view as well. On to another man who has got a lot of sex appeal here on the Sunday Game, Colm O'Rourke. Colm, on a more serious level, many of our phone calls coming in have been about the overcrowding at Croke Park today. We saw the gates were open to allow some of the crowd to spill over. I don't exactly know what the cause of the panic was, but it's of great concern to a lot of people who are watching the match and who are at the match today. Your thoughts about it?
Well, I think the officials in that end of the ground seem to act very quickly and diffuse what could have been potentially maybe a life-threatening situation. And I suppose all sports authorities are now very aware of the need to have these gates open. There was a time, of course, when at the canal end that wasn't possible.
Yeah.
So, you know, if it had to happen at that time, there could have been a more serious incident.
You can see, though, one or two people obviously in distress there, you know, but
yes.
So it was not a happy situation, whatever caused it in the first case.
Well, the canal end, of course, is going to be demolished in the restructuring of Croke Park. It's not the greatest terrace in the world. There tends to be a lot of pushing from the back down, and people at the front often get crushed. I don't know what caused the problem today, but I think, in fairness, we should congratulate the officials in charge on a job well done to ensure that there was nobody injured.
I suppose to sum up, Colm, it was a situation that shouldn't have happened in the first case, but when it did happen, they took the sensible decision with it.
Absolutely, even though nobody wants to see the crowd spilling in on the pitch, but the people themselves too were very sensible. They got in, sat down nice and quietly and let the game get on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, now, let's carry on and take a check on the main GA results of the day. And they, of course, were the All-Ireland Senior Football Final, Derry 1-14, Cork 2-8, and the Minor Football Final, Cork 2-7, Meath 9 points. Let's take a check on what's been happening elsewhere in sport on this Sunday with Sports News Extra. Here's Robbie Irwin.
And we start with golf this evening. And in Paris, the Loncombe Trophy has been won by Ian Woosnam. A final round of 65 gave him an aggregate score of 13 under par and victory by 2 strokes from his Ryder Cup teammate, Sam Torrance. It was Woosnam's second win in the Loncombe and a great start to Ryder Cup week.
And I'm sure that's going to be good enough.
David Faraday had a final round of 69 for a share of 3rd place with Barry Lane and Mark James. Next we turn to handball, and at the Handball Centre in Croke Park last night, Michael Duxie Walsh set a new record when he won his 9th consecutive 60x30 Senior Singles Championship. He beat Walter O'Connor in 3 games. Michael Finnegan of Cavan won the minor final, and Tony Hines and Ned Buggy won the doubles title. soccer next, and the results from the Premier Division. Cork City 1, Drogheda United 1. Galway United 1, Limerick 2. Monaghan United 0, Shamrock Rovers 1. In the First Division, Finn Harps 2, Waterford United 0. Home Farm 0, Sligo Rovers 1. Kilkenny City 3, UCD 2. Longford Town 1, Bray Wanderers 0. St James's Gate 0, Athlone Town 2. And in the FA Premiership, Eric Cantona scored for Manchester United as they beat Arsenal by 1-0. And in Italy, David Platt's great start of the season continued when he scored again in Sampdoria's 2-0 win over Udinese. And in rugby, there were 2 games in the Insurance Corporation League. In Division 2, Old Crescent 31, Ballina 9, and Division 3, Corinthians 16, Sligo 11. In rallying, Stephen Murphy won the Wexford Rally, driving a Sierra Cosworth. Paul Harris was second, and Michael Farrell came home third. And Nigel Mansell has made motor racing history when he won the Nazareth 200-mile race to become the first driver to claim the Formula One World Championship and the IndyCar World Series title in successive seasons.
Well, one of the results in soccer late in tonight, Dundalk 5, Shelbourne 1. So Shelbourne suffering a little bit from their visit to Galatasaray during the week there. All right, then the celebrations continue down in the Shelbourne Hotel down in Dublin. Let's rejoin Ger Canning down there with the Derry people.
Well, the sign in the background, Michael reads, Derry does it. And Harry Chivers, county chairman, you certainly did.
It was a great achievement by the players today, and just reward for all the work that has gone on at club level, schools level, county board level, finance level, and certainly makes up for all the hassle we had over tickets, more the lack of tickets during the week. And I would like to pay tribute now to our county secretary, Patsy Mulholland, and his wife Margaret and family for all the work they did, all the hassle, and apologise to all those people who didn't get tickets for the game. We just didn't have enough. But hopefully we'll see them all in Maghera tomorrow night or maybe early Tuesday morning, and they're all welcome to come along to the goal game against the All-Ireland team in Balahi on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, I think it is.
What is it going to mean, this win today, to the development of Gaelic games all over Ulster, in particular places like Derry City?
Well, we would expect a big upsurge in the city. There's already a lot of work going on, and we would expect this will cement all the work that's going on at school and club level within the city.
Sum up your feelings right now, Harry.
Some of the feelings. There's a man called Quinn. It's sort of come to like him in Ulster because he hands out cups to a lot of counties.
And they all begin with the letter D, I think, as well. Well done, that's Harry Chivers. Now, across here, Dermot Heaney. And Dermot's got something of a record, ladies and gentlemen. You've played in Croke Park. Today was your 7th time to play there in a major match, and you've never lost.
That's right. I've been played there 7 times. Twice in the National League last year, once this year in the National League, twice in the minors, and twice in this year's All-Ireland campaign. Haven't been beat yet.
Your first All-Ireland final day, what was it like?
It was very scary, I think was the word I could use, and being only a minor and I was going out into the roar of the crowd. It was very scary, but I've learned from that there, I've matured a lot. It's a great feeling today.
How would you sum up today's feeling right now?
It's tremendous achievement. Hasn't really sunk in yet, but...
Can you contemplate what it's going to be like tomorrow night when you take that cup back to Derry?
Well, there'll be thousands there in Derry tomorrow night. We left Derry on Saturday, and Marafelt, Maghera, and packed, and we just decided that we couldn't come back without the cup. And now we have, and we packed tomorrow night.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's another hero, Dermot Heaney. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Indeed. Certainly one man I wouldn't like to be marking at any day of the week, particularly in an All-Ireland final, is Anthony Tohill at midfield. Anthony, it's been a great year for you, of course. You won the Sigerson Cup with Queens earlier this year, but today must be the highlight.
Oh, definitely. Today has definitely been the highlight of my career so far. I think it's not only a good day for myself, but for everyone associated with football in Derry. We're going to enjoy ourselves for a while.
You're only just 22. What's left to achieve?
Oh, I wouldn't mind doing it again, Marty, you know. The worst thing is about one of us start to get greedy, and definitely Derry will want to repeat what they did this year.
Now, you're lucky enough, you're not going back to Queen's University for another week, so you're going to be free to enjoy the celebrations.
I would say we'll enjoy ourselves when we get up to Queen's as well.
Indeed. Well, Anthony Tohill, well done. Fergal McCusker is also with me. Fergal, certainly you were one of the players to show there was great depth of talent in Derry this year, because yourself, Dermot McNicholl and others were finding it difficult to get on the first 15.
Well, I think the secret of the team has been a strong bench. Funny feeling my bum now. No, the secret of the team has been a strong bench. You know, throughout the campaign we've had 3 or 4 subs, 3 subs that were, you know, equally good coming on. Racking at this.
Somebody's crashed.
No, it was very enjoyable to come on today, I must admit. To start the game, you know, I was up against serious competition from like Danny Quinn and Carl Lima. Just took the chance and that was it.
Eamon Coleman has always emphasised the importance of the panel, and certainly Derry's panel proved that they have great talent, obviously good enough to win the All-Ireland.
Well, I wouldn't like to be picking a team to start in the championship next year after that campaign. It's going to be very tough, but we'll party a bit and then we'll sort that one out.
Well done. Anthony Toll, Fergal McCusker, thank you both very much and well done.
I have Damien Barton with me here now, and Damien, I suppose you're one of the longer serving fellas. You came on the team around about 1980.
That's right, Jer. I'm there a long time. Today is a great reward for all those years.
Did you ever think it would come?
I don't think in reality we ever thought it would come until the last couple of years. Winning the National League was a big plus to us, and obviously the success that Down had opened the way for a lot of Ulster teams.
Is there greater self-belief now up in Ulster that Down can do it, Donegal can do it, Derry did it?
Well, I mean, we took inspiration from both their ones, but we knew within ourselves, I mean, there's always been great footballers in Derry, and it was a matter of getting the house organised, so to speak, and we knew we had the ability from the start of the year to lift the Sam Maguire.
You had Eamon Coleman, and you had Mickey Moran, and you had some very good selectors and people in the background there. They did a very good job, obviously.
Oh yeah, but I think it's more than them. They did a good job this year, but we have all come through school football from we were no size, and I think today is a culmination of all the work, the hard work that every club and every school has done throughout those years.
Dermot, I just want to move across here for a second, or Damien rather, and talk to Dermot McNicholl. You came on as a sub. You had a great old time.
Sure, I was very happy just getting in there, you know, for the last 35 minutes. You know, it's every player's dream to play in an All-Ireland final, you know, and I was just happy to be part of it.
You were a minor star back in '83. You played in the Compromise Rules series. You've had a checkered career, played in Australia as well. Is this the pinnacle of your achievements?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll be fighting for a position next year again, I can tell you that. But no, I mean, there's a couple of fellas, you know, that you can just look and have total respect for, you know, and that's I've played with them for years, and that's Tony Scullion and Brian McGilligan, and I can tell you what, they deserve an All-Ireland. Those two players in particular have been playing with Derry when you know, things haven't been going so well, and they've just kept plugging away, and I'm just so happy for them. I'm just proud to be part of the whole thing, you know.
Dermot, I always was told that Derry was a great place for a bar of a song, and I haven't heard Danny Boy at all so far today. Now, maybe yourself and Joe Brawley would combine and do a little kind of ensemble here, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe can do the singing, I just do the miming.
Well, where is Joe? Where is Joe Brawley? Is he going to sing for us? Are we going to upkeep the reputation of Derry people as good singers? He's coming. I'm not quite sure what words you were miming towards me that time.
Could you not get me out, fellow? The advertises a record.
In you go together, guys.
What are you going to sing?
I think something appropriate now. Come on.
What, like?
I have full confidence in
I tell you
you.
to get up. Johnny McGurk, Polly as well.
Well, Johnny McGurk,
Let's
get
have one or
Johnny.
two other lads. Call McGurk. Get McGurk. Johnny! Where's Johnny Dog? Where's Johnny? We're running out of time, lads. Where's Johnny McGurk? Johnny Dog! Johnny McGurk! Johnny McGurk! Right, thank God. Johnny Dog! There we go. Johnny! Go on, get the key, right? Get the key. Some music. In my memory, I will
the town and I have loved so well, where school played ball by the yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke and the smell, going home in the rain, right up the North Main, past the jail and down behind the mountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways, in the town I love so
Well done indeed to all down there in Derry, particularly Joe Brolly for getting that thing going there, and Johnny Dog, I think he said, in the middle of it all as well. All right, man of the match time. We're going to keep you in suspense though about our man of the match for just another few minutes, but first, as the saying goes, we're going to have some music. It's time to reflect on a long, hard season for the players of both Derry and Cork, of course, and to recall some outstanding performances, not just today, but all through this summer of '93. Yeah, some of the moments there that made the 1993 Football Championship memorable. Well, from today's match, as we said, we're going to talk about the man of the match. First of all, Colin O'Rourke, who had you in contention today? Who was on your shortlist?
Well, a lot of players played well. Some, and quite a few others played well for maybe half the game. On the Cork side, Joe Kavanagh had a very good first half, and Stephen O'Brien also played well throughout. Shea Fahy, I thought, was Cork's best player for the whole game. He tried very, very hard. Maybe tired a little bit in the end, but I suppose that was only natural considering he's been out injured. On the Derry side, Dermot Heaney had a very good first half, worked terribly hard. Henry Downey had a great second half. And Enda Gormley, after he got a little bit of a wallop, really played very well after that. And Joe Brawley had a very good game, more or less from start to finish. But when it came down to it...
Well then, your choice for man of the match, remember that Waterford Crystal Trophy and the Festina Gold watches, both his and hers, goes to Colin from this match?
Well, I picked a small man with a big heart, Johnny McGurk. And he can sing a bit as well, but I thought Johnny had a fantastic game from start to finish today. And he was the one player who held his head all the time, played the role of spare man very well the second half, and it's very difficult to do that.
He's hiding there from you at the moment, Colin.
Well, he wasn't certainly hiding today, or in all the other championship matches for Derry. And there was a couple of things that just showed to me why he was so important to Derry. Kicking over the first point, when a lot of the Derry players at that time were very nervous, fantastic score to get. And here again, moving up in attack, laying off the ball very well for a point to Anthony Tohal. And then the second half, again, moving up in attack again himself, and taking the responsibility, not just looking for someone to give it, willing to take responsibility, putting it over the bar. Marvellous performance by a small man.
There's a lot of stuff to come. You've got your watches, there's a ladies' watch to come later. You've got a trophy. Sometimes man of the match awards are a little bit, sometimes even ridiculous for a team event. It's only our token to you. We know it's been a fantastic team event, but it's our token for a really, truly wonderful performance. Congratulations, John.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. The presentation made by the group head of television sport in RTE, Mr. Tim O'Connor. Thank you, Tim. John, there's a rumour you're looking for a place among the forwards.
That's not true at all. I'd like to thank Eamon Coleman actually, because to pick a 5'6" man in the team is probably out of the question, but when Eamon's 5'2" himself, it's not out of the question.
It's rumoured over the last 3 weeks you've been practising those shots in front of the post. How are you getting on in those practice shots?
That's not true at all. Actually, I kicked about 10 wide at training, and the Monday night after the semi-final, I kicked 10 wides with my left foot. And Henry Downey's been talking about it ever since, and he's told me he's going to score in the final and so on. But I'm sure Henry Downey will score after the match anyway.
I'm going to pass that one over fairly quickly because I sense trouble somewhere. You've got to start out and do it all over again, of course, next year. But for tonight, you're going to celebrate.
That's right. Tonight we'll celebrate, and I think probably for about a week or so. It's been the culmination of a year's work. We've trained since Newry. The first match was down, and I think the whole management and the team have trained just for Sam Maguire since then, and this is the culmination of a year's work, and we're very happy to do it.
I have a Festina watch for you as well. Here you are. Ladies and gentlemen, the RTE Sport man of the match for the football final. Very deserving winner, Johnny McGurk.
And congratulations again to Johnny McGurk, and a well-deserved award. Before we close, some more phone calls just to briefly refer to. Johnny MacDonald of Swords thinks the introduction of using replay footage for referees would be a very good idea, particularly after today's incidents. Thomas Finneran from County Galway said it would be a good idea if penalties were brought in if a player fouls, that he'd be sent off, and instead of being sent off or booked, he should be sent off for a period of time to be decided by the referee. Martin Clooney from Tuam said there wasn't an outside trainer involved in any of the teams in either the hurling or the football finals this season, and is there a lesson to be learned from that? Michael O'Connor from Kildare was at the game today, and he thought that the referee made some very good decisions, and he wants to know if it's against Colm O'Rourke's religion to say something good about Kildare. Another player or person that doesn't have too many kind thoughts to say about you, Colm. He says your horse was running yesterday in the Curragh. Tell him that he owes Eric Leonard a tenner because the horse is running still. Well, I'm delighted to say that most people who watch the Sunday game have been delighted with your comments and analysis. Joe Donoghue from Cork would like to compliment you on your reading of the game today. And Ken O'Sullivan, a Dublin supporter, would like to say that Colm O'Rourke had a great season in relation to his analysis and comments. Looking forward to next year, Colm. Will we see you in the Meath jersey again? I presume we will.
Well, I was actually thinking of taking up refereeing. I thought there was an opening there, so I'd have to get picked first, but I'll see how things go over the winter. I'll lie up for the winter, and if I'm not too heavy and in too bad a shape, I'll see. We've a new selection committee in Meath now, and Sean Boylan has new men with him, so we look forward to the new year, and hopefully maybe we'll be back among the honours again.
Well, I can't see Colm O'Rourke coming back into the football season next year in any kind of bad shape at all. Colm, thank you very much for joining us on the Sunday game this season. And on that note, we're going to leave you from the Sunday game for tonight. Now, normally at this time of the year, we also say goodbye to you at the end of the Sunday game season, but not this year. As in a fortnight's time, we'll have the replay of that All-Ireland Under-21 hurling final, but next Sunday, the attention turns to the ladies and the All-Ireland Camogie finals. Now, remarkably, Galway continue their involvement in the All-Ireland finals this year by contesting both the Camogie finals, senior and junior. Next Sunday night, you can see their senior encounter against Cork here on the programme, plus the junior final between Galway and Armagh, Network 2 at 8 o'clock. But on this special night for Derry football, it's time for us to say goodnight and to remind their supporters that they don't have to wait that long to see them again in action, because as you just heard, in the traditional goal charity match, they take on the rest of Ireland in Balahi on Wednesday night. Throw-in is at 6 o'clock. And that rest of Ireland team will be announced tomorrow. And you can be sure that there'll be a huge crowd in Balahi to cheer on the All-Ireland football champions of 1993. However, from all of us here on the Sunday game, good night.
The initiative has been seized early on by Cork, and it's Joe Cavan into the breach. There's a goal on here for Cork, and he gets it! Damien Cassidy going back to recover possession, trying to go by Niall Cahalane, avoiding the block, hit in invitingly. Mark O'Connor wasn't sure, and it's a goal! And the referee says it's a valid goal. Little chip inside, John O'Driscoll coming in, he scored! John O'Driscoll puts Cork back in front.
Come on, Johnny! Come on, Johnny!
McGurk on his left boot, and he's put it over the bar. And it's Henry Downey who takes Sam back to Derry. Oh, Sammy boy!